The Catherian torture chamber hummed with malevolent energy as Commander Vexith observed his latest subject through reinforced crystalline walls. The human hung suspended in neural disruptor fields, his body a canvas of alien wounds that would have killed any other species 3 times over. Yet somehow, impossibly, the creature's chest still rose and fell with stubborn rhythm. Day 47, Vexith dictated to his neural recorder. The human designation, Marcus Chen, continues to resist psychological breakdown despite exposure to Class 9 pain amplifiers and memory extraction protocols. The human's eyes snapped open, startling the Catherian commander. Those brown orbs, once bright with defiance, now held something far more dangerous: calculation. Still. Taking. Notes? Marcus rasped, his voice barely a whisper yet carrying an edge that made Vexith's scaled hide crawl. Good. Make sure you get this part right. Vexith had conquered 17 worlds in his career, subjugated 43 different species, and broken the will of thousands. He understood pain as an art form, despair as a science. But this human, this infuriating, impossible human, continued to smile through torments that would reduce a Catherian to a gibbering shell. The interrogation had begun simply enough. Marcus Chen, ship engineer from the human colony vessel Perseverance, had been captured during a routine raid. Standard procedure called for information extraction about human military capabilities, followed by public execution to demonstrate Catherian superiority. But Marcus had proven anything but standard. On day 1, he'd endured neural probes that carved through his memories like surgical blades. Instead of screaming, he'd hummed old Earth songs, restructuring his thoughts around melodies that the alien technology couldn't parse. On day 10, they'd broken every bone in his arms. Marcus had spent the recovery time teaching himself to write with his toes, scratching equations into the cell floor that later proved to be improvements to their own reactor designs. By day 20, Vexith had authorized experimental procedures: consciousness, fragmentation, temporal displacement torture, quantum pain resonance. Marcus absorbed each technique, learned its patterns, and began to adapt. His body, broken and rebuilt dozens of times over, had developed an almost supernatural tolerance for trauma. His mind, shattered and reformed, had evolved beyond normal human parameters. The fascinating thing about your torture methods, Marcus continued, pulling himself upright despite the neural disruptors, is how predictable they've become. Day 47, and I can map every neural pathway your devices follow. Vexith's mandibles clicked nervously. Impossible. Our technology operates on quantum uncertainty principles, which follow statistical models. Marcus interrupted, his voice growing stronger. I've had plenty of time to work out the math. Every time you broke me down, I came back with a better understanding of your systems. The human's body had indeed changed during his captivity. Muscles repeatedly destroyed and regenerated under alien medical protocols had developed beyond baseline human norms. His nervous system, subjected to constant electrical assault, had rewired itself for efficiency. His brain, fragmented and reassembled, now processed information in ways that bordered on superhuman. You want to know the difference between humans and every other species you've conquered? Marcus asked, rising to his feet despite the disruptor, fields that should have kept him immobilized. We don't just survive trauma, we learn from it, we adapt, we become something stronger. Alarms began wailing throughout the facility as Marcus reached toward the control panel that should have been far beyond his reach. His modified physiology, shaped by weeks of precise torture, allowed movements that defied Catherian understanding of human limitations. Impossible, Vexith shrieked. The disruptor fields. Ah, yes. Marcus smiled, his fingers dancing across alien controls with impossible precision. About those, I've been studying their harmonic frequencies for weeks. Turns out if you modulate your bioelectric field just right, the disruptor fields collapsed. Emergency lighting bathed the chamber in crimson as Marcus stepped forward, his movements fluid despite the mechanical enhancements the Catherians had unknowingly helped him develop. You tried to break me, he said softly, advancing on the panicking commander. Instead, you gave me a graduate course in Cytherian technology. Every torture device taught me something new. Every medical procedure showed me how to improve human physiology. Every attempt to shatter my mind just made me think differently. Vexith reached for his weapon, but Marcus moved with inhuman speed. Not superhuman, but precisely scientifically optimized human. The commander's neural disruptor clattered across the floor as Marcus pinned him against the wall. Here's what's going to happen, Marcus explained with terrifying calm. I'm going to walk out of here, I'm going to contact my people, and I'm going to tell them everything you've inadvertently taught me about overcoming your technology. They'll never believe. Oh, they will, Marcus grinned, his enhanced eyes reflecting the emergency lighting. Because I'll demonstrate. See, the thing about humans isn't that we're the strongest or the smartest species in the galaxy. We're the most adaptable. You can break us down, but we'll rebuild ourselves into exactly what we need to become. As security forces poured into the chamber, they found their commander unconscious and their prize prisoner gone. The surveillance. Recordings would later become legendary throughout Cytherian space, not for showing their techniques, but for documenting the birth of something unprecedented. Marcus Chen had entered the facility as an ordinary human engineer. He emerged as living proof of humanity's most terrifying characteristic, their ability to transform any adversity into advantage, any breaking point into a breakthrough. The war that followed would be remembered as the day the galaxy learned why humans called their greatest stories comebacks.